Assalamu alaikum, good afternoon listeners. It's me Suleiman Ben Swari coming back on Facebook Live. Today is Monday the 6th of June 2022. The time has gone 13 minutes past 5 in the afternoon in Birmingham, England. And we share the video now, we can start this program. Okay, thank you very much. As you said, today is the 6th of June 2022, time just gone 30 minutes past 5 in the afternoon in Birmingham, England. We are continuing on part 2 of the, put the spotlight on the GAMPETROLEUM case trials. And just to refresh or to remind the people that the case is going on. And hence I've been following on agitating for this GAMPETROLEUM scandal from last year, October, when it happened. And it seems there's not much interest in it. And I continue to cover it, and I'll try and do my best to cover the entire trial. And we did a program last week, and that was the first part of it. And what we did was to cover the proceedings as it started with the prosecution bringing their witness. And the second part, the prosecution witnesses are still coming. They're meant to have 7 witnesses. Apparently, I think there's more now. I've not, just as the last time, I didn't have time to follow the trial itself. But what I did is I got the news from the newspapers, the proceedings. I've got them on a spreadsheet, on a Word document that I can follow the so that I can deal with the case, and I will read it according to how it was delivered, and I will give my opinion on it. But so far, what we realized, and I said before, that I think this is another form of cover-up, that this government is not transparent, that this government is absolutely corrupt to the core. The entire system of this government is based on corruption, and they are not there to prove a case, but they are there just to satisfy some people or organization or whoever they are, to say that they have prosecuted the case. But as far as I can say, they cannot convict these two based on the charges, based on the evidence brought forth. Are these two guilty of an offense? Are these guilty of corruption? Are they guilty of any other conspiracy they charge? The proof should be within the courts. Allegations are made against them, but we want to see it in the courts. Why? Yes, there's money missing, there's stocks missing, there's corruption in the GAMPETROLEUM just as is everywhere else. But the corruption in GAMPETROLEUM cannot be two people. Cannot be two people only. The corruption in GAMPETROLEUM, as alleged, would have to involve a lot of stakeholders. And this involves the marketing companies themselves, people who would receive the stock, people who sell the stock, people who might have access to the stock. Would have to involve the people that will facilitate to make sure the stock leaves this site. Would involve the people that handle as the marketing company, and we have to prove how that material was disposed of. There are a lot of, it's about 8 counts, conspiracy, theft, causing economic loss. Remember the word causing economic loss. These charges are, these laws were introduced by Jammeh to widen the net what causes economic loss might not be the person taking money only, might cause because of the role you played by just not doing things right, and it have an impact on the economy, just as when the fuel shortage happened and there's no fuel in the country, that was cost of economic loss. It impacted on the economy. You see, these are things they might want to hold on to. But the case of theft have to be proven. Not the exact words, but what it means. That the person have intentionally taken something that is not his or hers to deprive the owner or the owners of the property, to permanently withhold the property away from them. Now, to prove that, the existence of the property have to be established, that the property is in existence. Now, to prove that, or people to be held accountable, would be the people that facilitated the lifting of the property that is in existence. Already is established this is a property in existence. It's already established that the person coming, these are the people that have authority over the property. They own the property, or they have authority. They are the one in charge of this property. Now, if to prove that this property was stolen, this have to be established first. Then the second bit of what the case need to establish is that the missing stuff is missing. How is it missing? It was taken out. The process that they took to make sure the item is missing have to be established. Then to prove that these people, 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 1 or 3 people took that property by the means established and took it away. They didn't have any lawful ownership to it. They haven't got any lawful authority to access the property. The property is established, it's not borrowed. They don't have any rights to it. But they took it away, and the reason they took it away is to steal it, to make sure the owners of the property would not have access to the property, to deprive them, to cause them loss. This is what to be established. And so far, according to the deliberation, we looked at the first part, it's not even close to being established. Even to establish the stock and the missing stock, the prosecution have fully failed so far. To establish the route or manner that an alleged stock was taken away or deprived from the owners, the shareholders, have not been established. To establish people who have responsibility or who hold to be held responsible for allegedly depriving these owners of the stock have not been established. And this is what I said in this case before, even looking at it. You cannot only bring 2 people to establish this. These 2 people have a responsibility. You see, to establish this, we have to establish the responsibility they have and the existence of the stock, the way and manner it was taken, and the way and manner it was disposed of. Now, you cannot do that without bringing other people into it. And why they refusing or reluctant to bring other people into this? Because the state is accomplished. And if I say the state, the president, the wife of the president, some ministers, and the cabal that controls that government, economic cabal, and this economic cabal are the sponsors of the political cabal. This is it. Now, you cannot hold two people onto that. Who are this economic cabal? These are the people that buy and sell or deal or market petroleum. Alaji Ababakar Jawaras, I mean, different companies. And the most controversial one is Ababakar Jawara, because we all know how he came into this business. He have no capacity of expertise in the business. He have no means. It's been proven to import or to deal in this market. But it's been established that the relationship he developed with the political class, especially the president, and the proceeds of his crime that he put in as a patron to the president's party and the people around the president to help the president entrench. And businessmen, they help you because they want to help themselves. That's been established. And others. Now, this is the reason why we are not having an accountability in this. This is not accountability. Now they want to just go through this to say that, and as they have done. They done with the fisheries, they done with the passport, they done with any other case they have, they will take it to the court knowing that they are not doing it to hold people accountable. Because of the people to held accountable, to establish case, many people have to be involved. And we talked about the way the GAMPETROLEUM have been hijacked. In the same way and manner, Yaya did. That's what Barrow is onto. Now, a company called Star Oil and these things and coming in, the way they came into the system and everything else, that's what it is. But let's continue. As I said, I have not read what I'm going to be reading here, the proceedings. I'm just, I got it and I'm just going through it now. Okay. I'm going to struggle a little bit today, because unfortunately I didn't put it on the laptop. Okay, this is the cross-examination of prosecution witness 4. The state versus Sehu Drame and Lamin Gassama. This was the 23rd of May, 2022. And again, the state is represented by MB Mbalo. And the defense is represented by C.E. Meni, BSM Conte, Mr. Akimbo, and Mr. Banku Kuren. And the Mr. Mbalo would be leading the prosecution, And Mr. Mbalo said, we intend to proceed with PW4. PW4 swear to the Quran. And tell this court your full name. My full name is Usman Emba. Where do you live? I live in Mahmuda, Combo South. What do you do for a living? I am a civil servant, control room supervisor, GAMPETROLEUM at Mandinari. He called himself a civil servant, but I don't think he's a civil servant. GAMPETROLEUM is not a public enterprise. It's not a state-owned enterprise. It's a private entity owned by shareholders. It's not government-owned. And you see, this is the problem we have in our institutions. But he called himself a civil servant. That he worked as a control room supervisor at GAMPETROLEUM at Mandinari. For how long have you worked for GAMPETROLEUM? I was employed at GAMPETROLEUM 1st May 2009. As what? First as a control room assistant until the 1st of January 2017, when I was promoted as control room supervisor. Can you tell this court, in brief, the nature of your work as control room supervisor? Our job is to load trucks, loading of petrol products to different oil marketing companies. Do you know the accused persons? Yes, I do. How do you get to know them? I got to know them when I was employed at GAMPETROLEUM in 2019, when I got to know the second accused, and later in 2015 I got to know the first accused. You told this court that you work at the control room as supervisor, dealing with loading of trucks. Tell this court your job at the control room. First and foremost, when we receive stock at the depot, there is a parking lot where the truck parked, and a copy of a delivery note from oil marketing companies is sent to the control room by either the driver or the security escort personnel or the detaching agent within the office. Tell the court what happened when you received the delivery note. When the delivery note is received in the control room, there are certain features that we check first, and these are the company logo, date, delivery, order number, signature of the authorized personnel, the stamp, the vehicle number, driver name, the quantity requested of the product to be loaded. Having received this delivery note and checking all the features, what happened next? When the delivery note is received and all the features are confirmed, we consult the second accused to know the status of the particular company and whether it is okay to load the particular product or not. And the second accused here, to remind you, is the operations manager, Mr. Gazama. If the okay is given to load, then we prepare the load verification ticket. This is where you have the truck details, like the number of each compartment and the total capacity of each compartment. This load verification ticket also carries the information that in the delivery note, because of the delivery note gives you the vehicle number, driver's name, and quantity. We use the delivery note to prepare the load verification ticket. The ticket helps to know each component and how many products is to be loaded in the particular component. And when this done, both the load verification ticket and the verification delivery note is sent to the second accused or first accused or any other person delegated to do the confirmation on their behalf. It's just, just straightforward, clear, explaining what they do, his role as a supervisor, and his office, what they do. The work they carry out is to make sure they get the request from the authorized dealers. This is the companies that sell petrol, because GAMPETROLEUM store the petrol. And when they get the note, which give them the indication that this person is lawfully allowed, you see, established, lawfully allowed, and they raise a ticket that would take it to another level. And that ticket, what it does is to put a little bit more details. They use the same details provided and to continue the process, but put more details. And this additional details is the different component in the truck. Some of this truck might have 3 different components for the 3 different kind of petroleum or such, and they put that and what the capacity would be and so on. And he continued. What happened next? After everything is confirmed, this loading ticket is taken to the security gate number 3. It is now the security personnel duty who will also have to confirm and sign before letting that particular truck into load. When the truck is going in for loading, the security man on duty will hand the loading verification ticket to the driver, who will then go to the gantry and position themselves at the loading bay where they load trucks. The driver will hand over the ticket to the loader, and then this is what the loader will use to load the truck according to load verification ticket. Again, self-explanatory. It proceeds to another level. The other level is the security, and security will take over from there on with the tickets and to direct the driver to the loading bay where loading would take place. And this ticket would obviously be handed to the loader, who would verify to see that every detail is right and correct before petrol is loaded. Then to take out petrol from that place would be very difficult if it's unlawful. Now, it would be easy to detect, would be easy to hold people accountable if petrol is missing, because you have all this verification and mechanisms, check and balances in order for these things. Then how comes only 2 people can be, and now we have to see how they're going to prove this too. Let's move on. Okay, tell the court what happened when you received the ticket at the control room. Again, I think this is the vertical accountability. This is the vertical accountability, what goes from the other end. Let's see what's going to happen here. He said, when the tickets are sent to control room and the trucks are finally loaded, complete, we prepare a final loading ticket which contains the company name, quantity that was delivered, name of the driver, 1 and 2 accused names. Okay, he's saying that once this loading is done, they send the tickets with the name of the driver and the 2 accused, as the managing director and the operations manager, who must have, or the people that acted on their behalf have authorized the loading. But remember again, they have not raised the request. Request was raised by companies associated or have right to raise. All they do is to supervise, to ensure that all the processes have been followed and the apex. That's so far what's established here. Continue. This ticket will now be sent to the office reception. There is a place for drivers to sign when he is satisfied with the loading by checking every component of the truck to confirm that the loading that the loading he requested is delivered with the help of the dipstick. This driver will sign the loading ticket, and this ticket together with the delivery note will be sent to first and second accused of or the person delegated to by them to sign the loading ticket. Again, an excellent system on. There's a horizontal, there's a vertical accountability here. After everything, now the driver was certified by doing an inspection using the dipstick to measure, to see that the quantity, not quality, the quantity he required is been issued. And once that is verified, then the final note would be raised and sent to the first and second accused, the managing director and the operational manager or director, to say that, okay, finally the process has been completed and everything is done and dusty, and the stock is out, or the stock will be going out. But let's just follow still. After that, the loading ticket with the ticket generated from the printer in the control room is photocopied. The driver will be given this copy and the department will keep the original. Now the driver will allow to leave the depot. Now, the driver have a certificate to prove that what he came for is been successfully been serviced, is successfully delivered. Now the driver leaves the premises with a certificate and the load to take to this thing. That's the lawful way of taking petrol. Now, if there's any unlawful way of taking petrol, then all these people would need to tell us how the petrol stock reported got missing. And if the prosecution is to prove their case, this is what they have to prove. And if these people have done this and did it unlawfully, they themselves need to be held accountable because they have responsibility to make sure they do something lawful. Let's move on. He said, the prosecution asked the questions again. Can you recall in the month of October 2021, did anything happen at GAMPETROLEUM concerning the operations? This is the loss they establishing now. My observation is they jumped straight to October. I want to see them establish the loss. But they gone to the crisis. That's what happened in October. Yes, it was about the fuel shortage. Tell this court what you know as Usman Emba in the month of October 2021, what affected the operations of GAMPETROLEUM. I don't know what the fuel shortage, I don't know what about the fuel shortage when it happened, because at the control room, we are not dealing directly with the traders, and the physical dips that are carried out every day, it was difficult at the control room to know the physical stock level of GAMPETROLEUM at any time. Guys, this is a bit murky. It's a bit murky. And let me try and see and put clarity in it. Now he's saying that it was about the petrol shortage. And he was asked, can he tell the court what he knows about the shortage? He said, I don't know about the fuel shortage when it happened. Because at the control room, we are not dealing directly with the traders and the physical dip that are carried out every day. He's saying that they don't deal with the traders, which is confusing here. He have already testified that the traders come to the driver. Remember, the driver is representing the trader. He is dealing with the trader. He's dealing with the stock. Because a stock cannot leave. He is the first point of entry for that matter. He's dealing with the trader. You see, he's dealing with the trader. The truck comes from the trader. The truck does not belong to anybody else but a trader who is authorized to come there. And he deal with that. 1. 2, he is referring to the dipstick. That dipstick he's referring to, it's not, I understand, the one for the truck. He's talking about the one for the stock. That's the big tanks in the thing, that he's not directly dealing with that one. Yes, which is a very fair statement. Directly, indirectly, he's dealing with it by ensuring that the truck that comes in came empty or came with this limited capacity and went in and came out, and what it left with was indirectly he's dealing with the stuff. Now, he's saying that with the dipstick, it's not. He's not the one measuring. He's not the one measuring. And I don't think he should be asked that question. And I don't think the questions, that's why I said the prosecution is not establishing where it should be established. This guy cannot establish that point of the missing. This guy, what he does is verification here. He's not holding the stock here, verification. He's part of the vertical accountability, and he cannot be held on both vertical and horizontal positions. Now we move on. It was difficult at the control room to know the physical stock level of GAMPETROLEUM at the time, which is fair. Now, the question from the prosecution, aside from your activity after loading of trucks, do you at the control room do any other thing? Yes, we send what we call the daily uplift report to the second accused person after every completion of daily loading transaction. This uplift report carries the total summary of the product lifted on that particular day, and also the detail of the loading ticket, example vehicle number, etc. Again, this is the point. That's what they do. He said, after every process gone through and business is finished for the day, what they do, they generate that's a summary report which goes as a daily report, activity report, for the director of operations, and that's what they do. Now, the question goes, can you recall in the month of October 2021 generating a report in your office? Yes, I do. What are these reports? Uplift reports. If shown loading tickets for month of October 2021, will you be able to identify them? Yes. Take a look at this. Yes, that is it. Who usually have custody of the loading tickets? He answered control room. Then Mbalo, the prosecution. My lady, we are applying to tender 19 loading tickets for NP as an OMC dated the 6th of October 2021. And any objections? Many? No objections, my lady. Now, I don't know what's in the detail of that. But the tendering of evidence, what you have to do is to establish and to tender the exhibit as an evidence. But so far, what's established here have not shown proven any or shown or indicated any malpractice. Now, what's in this document, I don't think is anything corrupted or seen as a malpractice, and for the defense just to come and say, yeah, we're happy with that, then there's nothing in it. I don't think, I mean, again, that's why I said before, the missing cannot be in October. What October did was, like, it's just when the smoking got up, I mean, it's when they realized, oh, we don't have it. But the missing might be years, might be months, might be weeks, but not October itself. Now, to establish, have to establish that. It's not established. Let's move on. That's the defense. With lawyer said, no, my lady. My lady is the judge, Roach. Then court, loading tickets date 6th October 2029. 6 of October 29th October 2021 are marked as exhibit P36 1 to 19. Okay, then the prosecution come back. If shown loading tickets for Petrogas, will you be able to identify them? He said yes. Take a look at 45 loading tickets for Petrogas. Are you able to identify them? Yes. Where are these documents coming from? The witness said GAMPETROLEUM control room. Mbalo now is the prosecution. We applied to tender 45 loading tickets for Petrogas. Court show Mr. Many. This is the judge saying to show Mr. Many, the defense. Mr. Many said, no objections, my lord. No objections. Now, it continued. Court again, booked the exhibit as loading ticket from Petrogas dated from the 1st of October 2021 to 26 October 2021 as marked exhibit P37 1 to 45. Now, this is very interesting. What they're tendering here is October itself. Probably they have something in October to prove, but it seems the defense have no problem with that. They're happy. There's nothing there to object. Let's go on. Okay, continue. He said, where are these documents coming? Okay. He moved to say, Mbalo, the prosecution, take a look at the loading tickets from Kasso. Will you be able to identify them? Yes. Where are the tickets normally kept? In the control room. Mbalo, again, this is the prosecution lawyer. We wish to tender 26 loading tickets for Kasso in evidence as exhibit. Court, any objections? Many, no objections. Ticket, court, ticket for Kasso oil are admitted and marked P38 1 to 26. Mbalo, if shown, this prosecution, if shown loading tickets for Atlas, will you be able to identify them in period of October 2021? Yes, the GAMPETROLEUM logo and signature. Prosecution, we applied to tender the 50 loading tickets from Atlas. Court, any objection? Money, no. And that was tendered. Prosecution, if so loading tickets for GNPC, will you be able to identify them in court? Yes. Take a look at these 35 loading tickets and tell the court whether they are the ones. Yes, Mbalo. Prosecution, we are applying to tender 35 loading tickets for GNPC. Court, any objection? Many, no objection, my lady. Then those are tendered. Then prosecution again. If so loading tickets for Diba oil for October 2021, will you be able to identify them? Yes. Prosecution, take a look at these. Are these the 15 loading tickets for December for Diba oil and from Diba oil and one from Drame oil? Yes. From Diba oil, one for Drame oil. This is interesting now. For Drame oil, yes. Mbalo, we apply to tender the 15 tickets from Diba oil and one from Drame oil in evidence as exhibit. Court, any objection? Many, no, my lady. Now, the court tender register those exhibits. Then it moves again to prosecution. If some tickets for Sandala, will you be able to identify them? Yes. Prosecution, my lady, we wish to tender 15 tickets for Sandala. Court, any objection? I am hearing names that I have never heard of. These are names I've never heard of. I hope it's gonna bring something interesting. I've never heard of these names. Okay, but now tickets are tendered. But let me raise something. I'm my layman again, but thinking, should the prosecution have established the companies, what do you call it, authorized companies, or what we call in our trade and security would be consignors, people authorized, companies authorized to lift oil? Should the prosecution have established that these are the companies established? No, these companies are not established, should not. We'd make it easy. But let's see what they're trying to do. They know better than us, probably. Mbalo, again, my lady, we wish to tender 15 tickets for Sandala, which is done. Then the prosecution again, if sold the tickets for Pure Energy, will you be able to identify the tickets? No, I never heard of Diba, never heard of Drame, never heard of Sandal, never heard of Pure. But does it mean that they don't exist? I'm saying Benswa, I never heard of them. Mbalo, if sold tickets for Pure Energy, will you able to identify? Yes. Mbalo, my lady, we wish to tender 4 tickets for Pure Energy. Court, any objection? Now Conte is the other lawyer, B Conte, Badu Conte, no objections. Then it move on. Court, the 4 loading tickets from Pure was tendered. Then prosecution again. If shown the tickets for Fortune Energy, will you be able to identify them? Yes, Mbalo. My lady, we apply for tender for the following tickets for Fortune Energy. Court, any objection? Conte, no objections. They move again. Prosecution, if shown the loading tickets for jar oil, will you be able to identify them? Yes. Prosecution, my lady, we apply to tender the following tickets for jar oil. Court, any objection? Many, no objection. It was tendered. Then it came to opposition. Now the question, prosecution, tell this court how the reports are generated. The reports are computer generated. Tell the court, how did you generate this? After loading is completed and the detail of the trucks are entered, the report is sent to the second accused. That means operations is over for the day. If shown the report, will you be able to identify them? Yes. Take a look at the daily report and tell this court how did you retrieve these reports. I printed them from the computer. And where is the computer? It's in the control room. Is the system accessible again? Yes. After printing this, did you do anything? Yes, I prepare a certificate. If shown the certificate, will you be able to identify it? Yes. Mal, my lady, we applied to tender uplifting reports from 1st of October 2021 to 29th October 2021 in evidence as exhibits with the certificates. Court, any objection? Many, no, my lady. Court adjourned to court admitted and mark P46 matter adjourned to the 24th. Now, what we had here, the defense did not object. And I don't know what they're trying to establish here. And everything they establish have not shown any flags or shown red flags. I think if I would have thought that the defense is the one establishing this. Now, it says everything have gone. All the tickets are on board. All these companies' names are bona fide companies. Now, remember, we are trying to prove theft here, missing this thing. The economic loss and everything cannot be if these people are not liable for theft, stealing this thing. And from this we haven't. Now let's move to the next one. This is the 26th. The state again versus Sehu Drame and Lamin Gassama. MB Mbalo again represent the state, and Oji Kujabi represent the state. And the first and second accused persons are represented by CMA, B.S. Conte, and P. Bakure. Now, witness PW4 is reminded of the oath. And many, Mr. Usman Ba. Now, the defense is coming to cross-examine the witness. This is what we wanted for the TRRC. You see how easy it is? We would not have named the TRRC. And would have been a better case. And would have finished with it. Let's go on anyway. Many. Mr. Usman Ba, is it the case that customs duty is paid on the product uplifted by the various trucks? Oh, I'm loving this many guy. I mean, you see, that's another point I left in my introduction. Remember, the economic loss would not only have to be impact of shortage and what it does, but the theft again would not only have to be lifting the oil and taking it, but is this theft of what? Taxpayers, money not paid to the taxpayers. You see, the amount of people to be prosecuted or to be brought or hold accountable when the loss happened are many. But let's move on. Many, yes, and that is why you have customs at the depot at GAMPETROLEUM. Yes, the computer of the computation of the duty is the responsible of custom, correct? And he answered, I don't understand the word computation, computerization, or working. And he said, the calculation is the responsibility of customs. Yes. I asked you the same question yesterday, and you said you did not know what changed. I've not seen that one. This is, we'll see whether we're missing something. He said, I asked you the same question yesterday, and you said you did not know what changed. I did not change the answer. Give the quick question. Give the witness P36. Take a look at the bottom left corner under the name Lamin Gassama. There's a signature. Is that correct? Yes. That is not the signature of the second accused. Do you agree? Yes. It's pointing holes here. Pointing holes here. Okay. Under the bottom right corner of exhibit P36, 1, there is a signature under the name of Sehul Drame, first accused. Yes. You confirm that the signature under the first accused name is not the fact. In fact, his signature. Yes. In fact, you confirm that both signatures under the name Sehul Drame and Lamin Gassama are the same. Yes. Can you tell the court whose signature are these? Yes, it's Lamin Toure. Now, this is again a failure for the prosecution. They were aware of these documents. They did not put these documents to their witness. Now, the defense is taking the opportunity to put it to the witness. Now, these signatures, this exhibit, are been signed and got signatures of purported signatures of the first and second accused. Now, this person is confirming that no, this is not the signature of these two, name of these two. The signature are not for these two, but the signature is for by Lamin Toure. We understand why Lamin Toure signed this. There's nothing we're saying against it. Now we want to know why Lamin Toure signed it. He might be authorized. Let's see. He said, Lamin Toure, you confirm the signature first and second name is not in fact this. Yes. In fact, you confirm that both signatures under the name Sehul Drame and Lamin Gassama are the same. Yes. Can you tell the court whose signature are these? Yes, it's Lamin Toure. Now, and then it goes second. What is PW2, my lady? And the third signature that is against the name Malik Jaju is that of the driver of a vehicle number 0839, correct? Yes. Go to exhibit P36 too. The signature of at the bottom left hand side under Lamin Gassama name is not his signature. Yes, I agree. The one at the bottom right corner is not that of the first accused. Yes. Please, can you tell the court whose signature are these? He said Alassane Senghor. Another person named Alassane Senghor. Now, the defense lawyer asks again. The two signatures on the left and right of P36 2 under the name of first and second accused names were authorized by the same person. Yes. Question again. This Alassane Senghor, what is his position at GAMPETROLEUM? Operations assistant. My understanding, operations assistant is way down the distance. I mean, the prosecution will be in trouble. The prosecution will be in trouble. Operation assistance. The third signature of P36 2 is that of the driver that name that made the uplift correct. Yes. The same goes to P36 4. Yes. And P36 5 signed under the accused person name by Lamin Toure. Yes. In fact, all the rest of P36, example P36 6 to 19, were all not signed by first or second accused, but by all the officers at GAMPETROLEUM. Yes. Take a look at P36 1. Again, on the last page, you have name of driver Malik Jaju. You have authorized by whose name is there. The answer, Usman Ba. That's yourself. Yes. And against the authorized dates, 6 October 2021, is that your signature? Yes. A question again. One Alassane Jatta also signed on the last page. Who is he? That is the security personnel on duty who normally sign and send the truck in. Is he employer of GAMPETROLEUM? Yes, he is. Take a look at Exhibit P36-2, last page against the word authorized by. Whose name is that there? Usman Emba. Who is Usman Emba? Myself. That the witness. Question. And the signature against the name in that column is your signature? Yes. Question. And in Exhibit P36-3, last page against the word authorized by, whose name is that? Usman Emba. This is getting interesting. Usman Emba. And the signature against the name in that column is your signature. Yes. The same goes to P36-4. Look at the last page. Yes. And in Exhibit P36-5, check the last page against the word authorized. Same thing goes for P36-6 to 19. Yes. Exhibit P36-6 to 19 was vetted by one Bakari Mane and also signed by Bakari Mane. Yes. This Bakari Mane, is he an employee of GAMPETROLEUM? Yes. Okay. What the defense is doing is establish that, look, everything's on board here. There's no theft here. There's no missing item here. Now, that's why I said why the prosecution was spending a lot of time to establish something that the defense interest is. There's no missing item. Your case should be to prove there's a missing item. And it cannot be proven on October. October is when you find out. Do your investigations and bring the people responsible. I'm not saying these two are not, but if you want to bring these two, prove the case. And it seems then of it. Let me move on. Continue. And Exhibit P36-5. Check the last page against the word authorized. The same goes to P36-6 to 19. Yes. Exhibit P36-19 was vetted by one Bakari. Yeah, we did with the Bakari. Is an employment of GAMPETROLEUM authorized. Yes. The last page or last pages of Exhibit P36-1 to 19 were vetted and seen by different employees of GAMPETROLEUM. Yes. And all these employees are still in employment of GAMPETROLEUM, including yourself. Yes. This is very important. Mean that if these people are still, after the case happened, investigation, everything, these people are still bona fide employees working at this thing, means that then case has not been proven here. Let's see. The way this goes, as I said, the defense might just turn out and say no case submission, because I'm not coming to waste my time here. The prosecution should prove their case. They haven't proven anything, and I think the court should just take a judgment on that. Okay. It continued. Now, the document of P37-1 to 27 has the signature of the first accused. Yes. In fact, they were all signed by different employees of GAMPETROLEUM who are still employer of GAMPETROLEUM. Yes. Exhibit 37-1 at the second to the last page against authorized column whose name is there, Usman Ba. That's yourself. Yes. And the signature signed, the name is yours. Yes. It was vetted and seen by Kausu M. Saho. Yes. This Kausu M. Saho is an employer of GAMPETROLEUM. Yes. This continued in that way. As I said before, that the reason the defense did not object to the submission, that's for them, the documents are okay. But let's just continue. Yes. And is still employer of GAMPETROLEUM. Yes. and all the documents in P37 1 to 47 were equally authorized by you and vetted by other officers and GAMPETROLEUM and not the force accused. Yes, that's because the force accused is either late of not in office or not in office most of the time. Now, this should have been established by the prosecution. Prosecution should have established that the signatures on these documents are not the signatures of first and second accused. Why is it that so? Then the prosecution witness was given reason why that is. But again, why would anyone go to that length? How many days late? How many months late? How many times late? How many absence to you to be doing his job? That's not your job to authorize. And this is something to establish. Now, who else should be held accountable? Let's move on. It's getting juicier now. Yes, that's because the first accused is either late or not in the office most of the time. The same procedure was followed in respect to the other exhibits from 37 P37 8 to 45. Yes, Mr. Usman Emba, you will agree with me that the procedure you follow in preparing these documents is the same procedure you have been following at the GAMPETROLEUM for more than 6 years now. And in fact, there's nothing wrong with the procedure. And he replied, no, I started signing these documents in June 2021. Is there anything wrong or irregular with those documents you have prepared? No. From Exhibit 36 to P46, series you can tell the total uplift of gas, oil, petrol for the entire month of October 2021. Yes, the total uplift for October 2021, according to your exhibit, for diesel is 9,876,450, and for PMS or gasoline, the uplift is 795,925 liters. Yes, you said you are the control room supervisor. The position of Lamin Toure was higher than yours, correct? Yes. At GAMPETROLEUM, do you or do you not carry out any reconciliation with the depot supervisor using the daily uplift against the meter read to confirm how much fuel has been uplifted every day? Now, the defense is touching something here that the prosecution have avoided or have missed. But when defense do that, it's to their interest to prove to show that the case, these people, they have not proven the case against our client. Now, this is a very important question here. Now, asking if Lamin Toure is not the most senior, which is admitted, we will need to see why he established that, and if GAMPETROLEUM carry out a daily reconciliation, and which I expect, because of they do a daily activity report, I expect a reconciliation which should happen with the depot supervisor using the daily uplift report against the meter reader to confirm how much these things. No, I cannot confirm that. That will be all for the witness, my lady. Okay, probably he can confirm that his level is here, he does the delivery, but the accounts manager or the operations manager or something, someone should be able to ascertain that. My lady, court, any re-examination? Mbalo, no, my lady, we have not had time to prepare our fourth to fifth witness to call for next week. Is this part of a principle of criminal case that you are limited on the witness to bring and how do you do it? You cannot be building your case as the trial is on. Court officers, you have 4 more witnesses, Mr. Mbalo, and if you want to bring any witness, you notify the defense. That's it. That's it. I said this, that they said they had 7 witnesses. Now, I said it when they started the trial, my deliberation on it, that it was completely inadequate. Now, another point. How did the prosecution did not take an opportunity to cross-examine the defense witness? Also, re-examined his witness after the cross-examination of the defense. There are areas he needs to drive back in. The issue regarding the signatures, where he alleged, where his witness have alleged that the reason other people are signing on behalf of the managing director is because the managing director is either late or absent. I thought the prosecution would have come out on that to drive it through to get more these things. But no. Is it incompetency? Is it deliberate? The verdict is out there for you. But again, now, as the case is going, he's saying that they have not prepared their witness, 4 and 5. They are trying to introduce new witnesses, which were not disclosed to the defense, which is completely unfair and wrong. I don't know legally how far it goes, but it's unfair. You have to do a disclosure. Now the judge is telling the ladies, saying, look, many object, look, you cannot be building this case as you go. You see, you have a legal strategy from the onset. This is what happened. Now you sit down with your team, have a legal strategy. How am I going to prosecute this? Is it theft? Then one, you have to establish theft. You have to have that grounded. Then from theft established, then other charges are easy to establish. Conspiracy are easy to establish. The main crux is the theft, the missing item. And how do I go this? And you have your legal strategy by your investigation, and everybody that needed to be brought in as a witness or to be charged would have been dealt with, but failed. As I said, I don't see hell in heaven to, as far as we're concerned now, to see anything proven here, but we move on to the next one. This is the 30th. It goes to say, again, the same, the state versus Sehu, Drame and Lamin Gassama. Mbalo, they represented the state. The first and second accused represented by C. B.S. Conte, person P. Bukarin and S. Silla. Mbalo, that's the prosecution. We intended to proceed with our 5th witness, Many. We were served with an additional list of witnesses, statements, and also a list of documents. The idea that on the day of hearing, unserved documents is not right. On the day of hearing, they want to introduce a new witness. With statements and documents, that's unfair, and which the defense have raised. Let's see how it goes. Now, is the state doing this because they cannot prove a case because of incompetence? Why is it happening? But let's move on. Court, let's see if he will tender the documents. Let's proceed with the witness. This is what the court said. Let's see whether it's going to put this in. P5 is Ablai Tambedu. Swear to the Holy Crown. Tell this court your name. Ablai Tambedu. Where do you live? Bijolo Village. What is your occupation? The Managing Director of Social Security Housing Finance Corporation. Do you know GAMPETROLEUM storage facility? Yes, I do. Is there any relationship between Social Security Housing Finance Corporation and GAMPETROLEUM? Yes, there is a relationship between Social Security Housing Finance Corporation and the GAMPETROLEUM. The relationship is that Social Security Housing Finance Corporation is the majority shareholder at GAMPETROLEUM. Listen to that. And now, Social Security does not have a member at the board. Barrow and short, there's no member of Social Security. The board is entirely by the cabal. Because some members of the cabal are in cabinet, and those are the ones in the board. And Gambia, you want to be serious about accountability? That's where it starts. They are continuing their game. That's why I said this case is matter of just burying the cases and going. Corruption is still going on. But let's continue. Social Security have majority shareholders. This is pensioners' money. Do you know the accused persons? Yes, I do. How do you get to know them? The second accused person, the two accused persons, Shehu Drame and Lamin Gassama, were representative, the general manager and the operations manager of GAMPETROLEUM, and I was the board chairman. Board chairman, very important. As chairman of the board of GAMPETROLEUM, do you have any working relationship with them? And the direct working relationships was with Shehu Drame, and the indirect working relationship was with Lamin Gassama. Tell this honorable court your direct working relationship with the first accused. The direct working relationship I had with first accused is that as general manager, he would sit at every board meeting of GAMPETROLEUM, and he was the intermediary between the board and the staff. As board chairman, as the board chairman of GAMPETROLEUM, can you tell this court who was the partners that made business with GAMPETROLEUM? The persons that GAMPETROLEUM had relationship with were the international traders, that's example Trafalgar, ADEX, and PSTV. And the OMCs, the oil marketing companies, were Petrogas, Ja Oil, and Atlas. Tell this court which kind of business activity exists between GAMPETROLEUM and the international traders. The relationship between GAMPETROLEUM and the international traders and petrol storage activities. Okay, is it clear? Okay. Tell this court the kind of relationship between GAMPETROLEUM and the local oil marketing companies. The relationship between GAMPETROLEUM and the oil marketing companies are throughput agreement. Can you, as the board chairman, elaborate on the relationship between the international traders and GAMPETROLEUM? The storage relationship has to do with international traders signing storage agreement between GAMPETROLEUM, in which volume of petroleum products are stored in the storage tanks in the depot, and the various charges and fees in storage agree with various parties. You earlier on told the court your relationship with the first accused. Tell the court if you can remember in October 2021, did anything happen in GAMPETROLEUM? Again, the prosecution team seems to be short-sighted again. He asked for the relationship with international traders. He did not exhaust to say that is the traders limited to this trade. The international traders, are they limited to this trade? Yes or no, they are 10 or 15. Second, he should have established whether the OMCs are limited to this 3 or 4 given. No, they are. Yes, they are limited, or no, they are not limited. They are 15. This is important, and we'll come to why it's important. That's why I said you need to build that grounding, and let's see where it's done. Now, he went on to explain the relationship again with the trade, the business trade, but he did not explain with the oil marketing companies. He talked about that GAMPETROLEUM provides storage. It's a storage facility where international traders will bring their bulk, and the bulk of petroleum is stored under the responsibility of GAMPETROLEUM. GAMPETROLEUM will charge for overseeing these operations. Okay, but he has not asked what relationship in detail you have with the oil marketing companies. Oil marketing companies come in to take the petrol, but we'll continue from there. The storage relation, yes, okay. You earlier on told the court your relationship with the first accused. Tell the court if you can remember in October 2021, did anything happen at GAMPETROLEUM? Again, it's limited to October. Let's see. Yes. At or around October 2021, one of the private shareholders, Star Oil Gambia Limited, during a board meeting, raised a query on Mr. Drame that their own petrol stock, together with other stock of international traders, went missing at the depot. Now, a private shareholder when missing. A letter was then written to myself at the board as the board chairman by Mr. Ibrahim Njai, one of a non-resident board of directors of GAMPETROLEUM on behalf of Star Oil Gambia Limited. Now he's saying that he was alerted. He was alerted at the board meeting by Star Oil board member who represents Star Oil. Now, you see, that's why I was asking to establish how many international traders are there, and establish how many oil marketing companies are there. Star Oil is a shareholder for GAMPETROLEUM, and they raised a letter to this effect about this complaint. Tell the court what happened after receiving the letter. An extraordinary board meeting was called by myself, in which representative from Pura was invited, and the whole board met to dig into the issue of the allegation raised by Star Oil. During the board meeting, Pura explained the inspection records of status of the tank, while Ibrahim Njai letter was read in the board meeting, where his second board representative, Mr. Ibrahim Barrow of Star Oil Gambia Limited, gave explanation on the rationale of their letter. Now. Again, this is not they have not established this again. Pura have to be established. Now, Pura to explain the inspection record. They had a board meeting. Something must have happened for Pura to do an inspection report. This is again when something had happened, and before the board chairman testimony here, they should have, you see, they are avoiding, they should have explained what happened to lead to that report. How did how did they find out? How did Star Oil representative find out? And what happened when he found out? That's when Pura was informed, and Pura made the investigation. But again, Pura is part of the cartel. Pura is headed by Yusufa Job. Yusufa Job is a friend of Mohammed Jah, friend of Idi Job. Idi Job is Adex, and Adex, you see the cartel. This is, and the then trade minister, who is now finance minister, was the chair of the task force. He's part of the cartel. He's a friend of Mohammed Jah and the cabal. And again, the Director General of Customs, GRA, is a friend of the cartel. You see, this is the problem of this case. They are avoiding. They are leaping forward. Let's see. Continue. Now, What was the first accused? What was the first accused person? The then general manager was part of the board meeting. Was he confronted? Many objection, my lady. That was a leading question. Prosecution, I will refrain. What was the reaction when the letter was read? The first accused was also asked to give his explanation and the letter from Mr. Njai and the explanation from Mr. Sise of Pura, and he categorically denied that there were missing stock in the depot. Managing director says, look, he was asked to give his, he said there's no missing stock in the depot. Question, yes, proceed. The additional explanation he gave as to the reason for the fuel shortage was that there has always been a practice of lending stock to oil marketing companies who has confirmed nominations. Example meaning confirmed expecting delivery of petrol product. That was what happened during the day of board meeting. Again, you have expected the prosecution to establish this, and it has been established before anyway. But now, this is, he says, what happened. The managing director said, look, there's no stock missing. All stocks are accounted for. Technically, that's what it means. That because of we have a practice that stock can be issued to oil marketing companies who are expecting delivery. And during the previous testimonies, we have established that this is what happened. We move on. And he said, as board chair, did you believe his additional explanation? Yes, then I did not have any reason not to believe, as I did not see the individual records of those negative stock that led to the fuel shortage. You told this court earlier that the relationship between international traders and GAMPETROLEUM was through their throughput agreement. This additional explanation, do you know if the international traders knew about the additional explanation? He answered, I do not think that the international traders knew about the additional explanation because the storage agreement between international traders and GAMPETROLEUM do not allow the giving of credit to the local OMV, which led to the negative fuel shortage as I know. Interesting point. Now, if the international traders did not know about this agreement, now the board chairman, did he agree, or did the board agree on this practice to be done? This should be the point to establish. Tell this court whether anything happened to GAMPETROLEUM depot in October 2021 as board chairman. Yes, there was a halt or stop of operations in the depot for both petrol and diesel as both quantities were completely withdrawn. Now again, okay, how this came to your knowledge as board chairman? It came to my knowledge first when there was a general public outcry of petrol products and the local oil marketing companies threat of Abraham Barrow called me to inform me of an inspection visit made by head of NIA SIS, which many objected. He cannot state what he was told, that would be hearsay. Now, my point is here now, they're coming back to what happened. What led to this? I think that have been established with him first. Again, this is the problem with it. And many said, no, he is telling you something he's been told. This is hearsay. The law of evidence would be, Asan B. Jalo have something to say about hearsay being admitted. Let's see whether it will stand the test of time here. Question, hearsay. Question, no, only tell the court what you did. Then the prosecution moved away. The same night, I made a call to my then general manager. He disputed the version of missing petrol products. Explained to me that the reason for the fuel shortage in the country is because of international traders refusing to bring their stock as a result of the new price structure introduced by the government. Guys, you see, this proves everything that I said actually, when the crisis was going, and this government came out and denied. Now this is what they put in to the courts. Now he said that when he confronted the general manager said no. The problem is the international traders are not bringing petrol because of the government have tampered with the price mechanism. Because it was approaching to elections and the price, we all know price was going up already, and they don't want prices to go up. Now they tampered with these things and international trade. This is what he advanced. This is what the managing director advanced. And as board chairman, when you received the information, did you believe his explanation? Yes, I did. As then, I did not have any reason to disbelieve his version of the event, as I know there was price structured by government. Admission. By government. What did you do? What I did after I got the explanation of Ababakar Barrow and I first accused, I also got a call from the managing director of Pura on same allegation of missing petroleum stock. All this call warranted me to call the board meeting, It was during that board meeting that Mr. Drame refuted the allegations. As chairman of board, I was tasked to talk to the Minister of Trade and the Minister of Finance as to the problem of new pricing structures resulting to fuel shortage. Now he is saying, you see, he's now admitting, okay, this is why we had the board meeting before. Now that board meeting testimony should have come after. Now he's now coming to it. Now he has to escalate to the line ministries, trade and finance. But still now, he is putting it to the problem with price structuring. And as the board chairman, did you find out from the international traders, did you find out from them regarding the price structuring? As I found out from the traders, the first information came from a meeting that one of the traders, ADEX, attended with Minister of Trade, Sidiketa, in which the representative of ADEX disputed the allowing their product on credit. In the minister's office, they requested for full payment of their product before they consider giving fuel at GAMPETROLEUM before bringing it in their product. When the official from ADEX made that assertion, he was requesting to formalize the claim to make reference to the shortage agreement between GAMPETROLEUM and ADEX. Now, this is moving on. Now, he said the ADEX representative made claims that, look, we did not agree to give our stock as credit. He's saying that they don't agree on that. And we are not going to bring in fuel until the stock is been paid back. The submission should make claims on how the quantity of products were arriving and price of the respective product. He was also requested to provide the format of a bank guarantee that will require as a minimum to provide their position of not bringing products to the Gambia, to GAMPETROLEUM. The submission was required to be submitted at the GAMPETROLEUM board. Now, these people are, it's interesting that the board chairman is already accepting liability without even going to do a forensic investigation to ascertain whether ADEX claims are valid. He's just taking a submission from ADEX and escalating this to put in this thing. It's like being held to ransom. I think this will bring a problem down the line on proving this case. And I hope the defense will pick that up. Let's see. Question. As board chairman, did you do anything with the information from ADEX, as with the explanation from the general manager? Yes. The inconsistency as far as the non-approval release of petroleum products as explained by ADEX, as that of the general manager with regards to normal operating practice as part of the allegations between the general manager and with respect to their various disciplinary proceedings. Did the board do any inconsistent? Many. I wish to apply for the records of whatever happened at the disciplinary proceedings to be expunged from the records. What went on to say, the prosecution, what the board did after letters were written was the submission from ADEX with regards to their respective product volume and price. Both 1 and 2 accused were invited and their staff to reconcile the claims quantities of ADEX. The other thing the board did is the stock quantity that were found during the stock count in the depot were known, were knocked off against the claim of ADEX as the total quantity they left in the depot that was used to settle the agreement with ADEX. Guys, this is serious. Now, the board have just gone and settled without more verification. They just went and did a reconciliation. If you do a reconciliation based on figures that are not ascertained, now that figures could be corrupted. What will come out from what you feed in is what you're going to get as an outcome. I think the claim of ADEX should have been ascertained by a forensic audit. Then we use and reconcile the accounts. But they jump on just take it for this thing and reconcile the accounts. I think the prosecution will have a problem here. The board have done something which I believe to be not right. Let's see what's going to happen. Question. What happened in relations to the records reconciliation? Answer. The reconciliation was not agreed with the claims of the trader, as both two of them were not able to provide final sign of figures of the stock of the trader and the OMC. Let's read this again. Let's read this again. What happened in relation to the records reconciliation? The reconciliation was not agreed. The reconciliation was not agreeing with the claims of the trader, as both two of them were not able to provide final sign of figures of the stock of the trader and the OMC, saying that the reconciliation was not matching the stock, matching due to the two accused not providing the final signed figures of the stock that belongs to the OMC. Who are the two of them? The first and second accused. I got that right, yeah. What did the board do with the irreconcilable figures? As a board, we did a reconciliation exercise with the government task force led by former Trade Minister Sidi Keta at GAMPETROLEUM quarters and Pura. The first reconciliation meeting was attended by the first accused, where the subsequent meeting were attended by both first and second accused. During the first reconciliation meeting at Pura, the first accused explained that they had stock figures in depot with second accused, and the security personnel with Pura representing Mr. Cisse, but the reconciliation provided that the reconciliation proved that no accurate record of trade and OMV stock. It was during one of those meetings that the task force set up by government advised for the police to do a full investigation and take the necessary action. I think the police did not have, I'm not being prejudiced here or disrespectful. I don't think the police, as far as I know, the accounting qualifications. I think they needed a forensic accountant to get into this. But what they're saying, that they're kind of a problem with the testimony from first and second accused, and things cannot be reconciled. Now they had to involve the police to do the investigations. They took the issue to with Pura and the task force, and this was the outcome. Now, question: you told the first meeting at Pura, and the first accused attended. Did you verify the information he gave? Okay. Yes. Sorry. Answer: during one of those reconciliation meetings in a late night exercise, when Mr. Cisse of Pura and General Manager Drame went to the depot to reconcile, came back without reconciled figure. We, Minister of Trade, with the Minister of Trade, Sidi Keta, as chair of the task force, requested for continuation of the meeting at Pura headquarters that night. It was during that meeting that the task force had a full review of the trade stock. The oil marketing company positive stock and the oil marketing company negative stock. Name after name. When the information was confronted to the first accused at the meeting, he then confessed to have been allowing some of the OMC to be receiving stock, even though the OMC did not have confirmed nomination fuel delivery. Example, fuel delivery. That same night, the task force directed that the reconciliation be exhausted and let both first and second accused with the security personnel go to the depot from Pura office that same night. Now, this is interesting. Now, what they're saying that when they started the reconciliation, the force, Mr. Cisse went with the first accused, the managing director, to GAMPETROLEUM, and they came back without reconciliation figures, and they had a late night, they had to continue to Pura, and during the continuation to Pura, that's when they looked at the stock positive and the negative stocks. When they did the reconciliation, then they allege that the first accused, that the managing director, Sehurdame, admitted giving fuel or stock to oil marketing companies without those people having any proof of expecting delivery. Interesting. But let's see what the difference is going to do. Without expecting delivery. Now, did you know what happened after? Yes, after a day or two, the task force requested for an uplift of the exercise. The security personnel were called at GNPC headquarters. The figures still differ with the claim quantity of trader and the OMCs. That same status information was related to the subsequent board meeting of GAMPETROLEUM, I was continually updated, the GAMPETROLEUM board, on the outcome of the investigation and the status of investigation. They continued, and still the trader, that's people, international traders, and the oil market, the figures are not tallying. I think then this is when it required a forensic accounting. A reconciliation was not doing it. There was a discrepancy somewhere. Now, was the product stock finally reconciled? No. As far as I know, the figures provided by first and second accused were never reconciled to the claims of international traders and local OMC. They were not reconciled. Now, I mean, can you do a better job with that? No, let's see. Earlier, you said there was halt operation at the depot, even though there was both positive and negative stock by OMC. What I mean was that there were all booked stock, theoretically stock mainly of vessel arrivals, released from international traders for the benefit of OMC in the tank, transfers which led to positive trade stock, positive OMC stock, and negative OMC stock. However, these were all only book figures. What is saying that there's no physical, the stock was missing, but if you go by records, everything is intact. This is what it's saying. Now, did the international traders provide anything? Yes, the international traders provided the evidence of their delivery to the depot. They provided the vessels out-turn report signed by the second accused, copied of approval release, which the first accused should use to allow in-tank transfer from respective traders to the oil marketing companies. The trades also provided stock holdings certificate signed by the second accused. You also talk about some of the oil marketing companies having positive stock. Did they provide anything? Yes, they provided release orders from traders. The positive provide approval from GAMPETROLEUM to allow delivery from their respective stock. If the deliveries are more than their respective stock, then one in termed as positive. OMCs positive OMCs. When you issue out the release more than what you owe, one is termed negative for OMCs. What is saying that the OMCs will have their physical stock, and if what they release obviously is balanced against what they have left. But if what is left is less than what is recorded as relief, then that will as negative stock. This is what it's trying to explain. That what is explained there. Can you elaborate on the settlement agreement with ADEX? The settlement agreement I mentioned during our meeting was agreed with international traders on the terms and conditions of how GAMPETROLEUM will pay for the said missing stock. How did GAMPETROLEUM arrive at the settlement agreement with international traders? It was after they were asked to submit their claims, volume price, bank guarantees, and the board meeting was called, in which verification was made of the respective quantities. They were invited in those board meetings to submit the claims. The figure provided by them, less the physical quantity of stock in the depot, were used together with GAMPETROLEUM retained solicitor reviewing both the terms and conditions and the format of the settlement agreement and the format of the bank guarantee. That was the process used in preparing settlement agreement. Emails were exchanged. How many meetings were conducted by the board in which the accused were directly or indirectly involved? The number I cannot remember. However, we met every 3 months, and in each of the board meetings, the first accused will participate as general manager. The settlement agreement, however, was involved as board chairman. Now, The settlements for the traders, international traders, is different settlement from the OMCs. International traders is easily ascertained that that's what they brought into the country. Now, it's been stored in the storage facility. Now, OMC have right to what's there. Now, to settle that, I think it needed to be established right. I think the accounting need to be there right before they agree to a settlement. But they agree to a settlement, whether the defense is going to dispute this, and this is where it's interesting. That's why we leave it to the courts to prove, and we hope that this can be proven. Let's continue. The settlement agreement, however, were involved as board chairman. Adex Energy and Trafalgar of Singapore, whilst those ones were negotiated, signed by myself and the other, I participated partly before I moved out as board chairman. If shown the settlement agreement of Adex and Trafalgar, will you be able to identify them? Yes. Take a look at the exhibit P16. Yes, I see P16 settlement agreement with Adex. Can you tell the court how you reach the agreement? Mbalo prosecution here. We are asking for adjournment to allow all my landed friend to go through the document he was served in court. This is the defense saying, my lady, the prosecution knew the case before coming to court, and the idea of producing documents whilst we are in court is what I don't understand. The court, this is the court here now, the judge, Mr. Many, I think we can let him produce it. Question, then now the prosecution, if shown the document by Adex, will you able to identify it? Yes. Take a look at this document. Document 1, analysis report P47, holding certificate P49, P48, P49, P50, and P51. One certificate of inquiries P52. One short tank quantity report P53. Two release order with 2 ITT certificate P54. Yes, I see. Court, can you show them? Any objection? Many? No objection, my lady. Analysis report P47. 4 holding certificate. And now, question. If shown release order from Trafalgar, will you be able to identify them? Yes. Take a look at this. One format for settlement agreement. 2 protest letter P56. 4 invoices P57 and P58. 5 holding certificate P61, P67. Court, any objection? Many? No, my lady. Question, how do you acquire the money? Pay Trafalgar. PW1 informed the court that he had authority of the board of GAMPETROLEUM to raise money to settle the traders. Can you satisfy that? On the raising of finance, the board gave approval of liquidation bank deposits and taking of loans for settlement of traders and the OMCs. Now, you see how our money is just going? It's just been paid. Now we have to ascertain, and now you have to understand this money belonging to shareholders, and the shareholders, major shareholders are the pensioners. Now the money is been settled, and if the case is not been followed and money recovered, means Gambia lose money. Gambia pensioners lose money. Gambia pensioners need housing. They need decent standard of living and others. They will not have it because politicians connived with the cabal to rob us. And now you go to the voting booth to vote for the same politician that will come and sell you tribe, that will come and sell you foreigners, that will come and divide you in order to continue to rob you. No, they have something in common with the cabal. The cabal controls them, and they are lazy, and all they care about is themselves. Let's continue. How what was the effect of liquidation of all GAMPETROLEUM investment holdings? There were various effects, mainly loss of investment opportunity, investment and from deposits, the investment cost of borrowing finance, of course, the mortgage of the depot to financiers. The depot now is mortgage. The depot can be lost. Remember when Barrow visited, go on my timeline. Remember then what Barrow just turned up and visited GAMPETROLEUM. I said to you, the cabal. I said to you, the cabal want to take over GAMPETROLEUM and GAMPETROLEUM, and we want to know these financiers. And don't be surprised if financiers are Mauritanian or Senegalese. Don't be surprised. And if you know the identity of those Mauritanians, you check their relationship with what you call it, Barrow. And that Star Oil, their representative is Mr. Mbalo. And not Mr. Mbalo. I'm not sure whether it's related to Barrow, because of Barrow in-laws are Mr. Mbalo. Let's check this. I want to find out that. Let's move on. This is serious. I mean, deposit to the financiers, and this is the prosecution. That would be all for the witness. That would be all for the witness. Now, guys, can we try find out? I'll try and find out who are the financiers that lent GAMPETROLEUM. People who listen to this, some of you would know. Let know who are the financiers that they mortgage GAMPETROLEUM to. Okay, cross-examination. Now the prosecution, the defense is cross-examination. Mr. Tembedu, are you no longer the board chairman? Yes, that's correct. When did you cease to be board chairman? Around January 2022. When did you become chairman of board of GAMPETROLEUM? I became chairman around June 2020. Before your tenure, who was the chairman of board chairman of board? It was Mr. Mohamed Manjang. Do you know when Mr. Manjang became the board chairman? No, I don't know. Before you became chairman, you had been a member of the board for many years. Yes, that's correct. When was the first time you became member of GAMPETROLEUM board of directors? That was during my tenure as at the ports between 2011 to 2012. Now, between 2011 to 2012, apart from that, tell me when you were immediately a board member of GAMPETROLEUM. I do not remember being a board member of GAMPETROLEUM. 2011-2012, who was the general manager at GAMPETROLEUM? I do not remember the general manager's name. What about the operational manager? I do not remember. Before you become chairman of board in 2022, were you a member of the board? No, I was not. You said that the international traders, ADEX, Trafalgar, and PSTV have storage agreement with GAMPETROLEUM. Do you still maintain that? Yes. Have you ever seen the storage agreement between PSTV and GAMPETROLEUM? No. Have you ever seen the storage agreement between ADEX and GAMPETROLEUM? Yes. Will you be surprised to know that the storage agreement with ADEX has not been produced before this court? I cannot comment. Tell me here. Tell me, have XPA, is it correct or is it not that GAMPETROLEUM have throughput agreement with various OMC, oil marketing companies? Yes, that's correct. And the throughput agreement has terms and conditions between GAMPETROLEUM and various OMC. Yes, you will therefore agree with me that the relationship between GAMPETROLEUM and OMC is contractual. You see, that's why I said the prosecution should have established this when he asked the relationship between GAMPETROLEUM and the OMC. He did not elaborate. Now the defense is doing that, elaborating on this. Why did they avoid that? Let's move on. And the two input agreement has terms and conditions between GAMPETROLEUM and well, yes. You will therefore agree with me that the relationship between GAMPETROLEUM or OMC is contractual. Yes, it is contractual. And either party have the right to sue if the terms of conditions are violated. Yes, that's the normal thing, but I do not know if the terms are to sue or not to sue. But you will agree with me that if terms of contract are violated, one sue or be sued. Yes, that I know. Take a look at Exhibit P8. Yes, I see it. Exhibit P8 is a storage agreement between GAMPETROLEUM and Travagor. Article 7 of the Exhibit P8 provided for how loss of produce stored at GAMPETROLEUM is to be calculated. Interesting. 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 It's very interesting now that if the oil marketing company's stock was lost, why didn't they just sue to get a settlement? But the company made it easy for them to get a settlement. I have not read, that's my observation. The GAMPETROLEUM made it easy for them to get settlement because it's a cabal. It's a cabal. They did not have to sue. No, what I mean is, they make it easy for them, they don't have to sue. But in an agreement, you broke the agreement, let them sue. But you settle it easily. But let's see where the difference is going with this. But yes, I know. Take do you apply that formula in what you calculate? Okay, no. Okay, yes. Did you apply that formula in what was calculated payment to Trafalgar? No. Now the chairman board of directors agreeing that they went and did a reconciliation, did this thing without following the contractual agreement on compensation. You see, now this is what I'm saying. This is the problem we have, Gambia. These people are taking a ride on us. They're taking a ride on us because they are complicit with the politicians. And the afraid Gambian would suffer for this. Let's move on. I put it to you that Trafalgar was overpaid. I am not aware that Trafalgar was overpaid. I also put it to you that if the formula in throughput agreement was applied, the payment would have been far less than what was paid. No, I do not agree. Let me have Exhibit P1 to P17. Mr. Tambedu, are you aware that the term of throughput agreement of various OMC allow them to uplift fuel on negative balance, sometimes on specific conditions? Yes. You see these confusions again. But it's on conditions. They are allowed, but on conditions they can produce that I have proof that I'm getting this coming. Let's say yes, the OMC that is allowed to uplift fuel on a negative balance is supposed to replenish stock before end of month. No, I am not aware. But you will agree with me that if an OMC are allowed to uplift fuel on negative and he failed to replenish the fuel, that would be a breach of agreement. Yes, that is correct. When the storage occurred, as a result of negative balance, they were all invited to the police to connect with their negative balance. Yes, that's correct. Many of the OMC on negative balance have either replaced the product and paid for the value they took. I am not aware of that. A question. I put it to you that it is a fact what have happened. I am not aware of that. Those OMCs that have taken the product on negative balance who have not paid for their product have been taken to court by GAMPETROLEUM to recover the sum with interest. I am not aware of that. Is it not the same case that board authorized the taking of action against OMCs with the negative balance that did not pay? Yes, that is correct. Now, Mr. Tambedu is kind of a bit dishonest here. As being a board member or chairman of the board, the agreements or the position paper to take the decision to take was already agreed under his decision. He knew that they agreed that if they don't pay, they are going to be taken to court. Then he should be aware. I said, yeah, that should be happening. This is what we should agree. Let's see. Yes, okay. Is it not the case that board authorized the taking of action against the OMCs with negative balance that did not pay? Yes, that's correct. Are you the chairman of board who authorized the action against OMC? Yes, that is correct. How we do not know? In fact, the legal action authorized by board have been compiled with and those cases are pending in court. I am not aware. I put it to you that they are in court and most of them settle and pay. I am not aware. Mr. Tambedu, are you involved in operational matters? No. You will agree with me that you are not conversant with the various throughput agreements. I am very conversant with the various throughput agreements. You said, apart from international traders, you said you had misstock with some of the local OMC. Yes. Who provided the figures of it? During the reconciliation with number 1 and 2 accused person and the OMC is when the positive figures were arrived at. You told the court that figures could not be reconciled with the figures claimed by the OMCs. Yes, that's correct. All material times, first and second accused were acting in their capacity as general manager and operational manager. And so only if they acted within the dictate of the storage agreement. Is it not the case that where there is a dispute between the OMC and GAMPETROLEUM, the position of GAMPETROLEUM should be taken as correct? Yes, that is correct. And that provided in the clause 2010 of the throughput agreement except Castle Oil? Yes, that's correct. Why did you not use the balance of product that was given by GAMPETROLEUM, but rather you used the one given by the trader contrary to agreement? The Vigo use was the one that was accepted by the management of GAMPETROLEUM, headed by accused 1 and 2. The first and second accused never provide or accepted figures used for any settlement with international traders and OMC. That his answer, that is not true. Has there been any time when reconciliation have been done at GAMPETROLEUM when physical and book balance are same? I am not aware. Many that would be convenient point to stop court and be adjourned to the 31st. Now we move to the 31st, where we will end this program. It's been taking a little bit longer, but we'll move on. Now it continues. The cost examination of PW5 Ablai Tambedu. Witness is remand of the oath. Mr. Tambedu, please take a look at exhibit P47. Do not contain any. P47 does not contain any signature. That's correct. And the same of particular person who prepared the document is not indicated. Yes, that's correct. At the bottom of P47, a figure of 5,919,600 was indicated for gas oil. Yes, is that the amount of gas oil that your board approved payment to the traders concerned? No, the figure approved for trader concern is contained in the settlement agreement and not P47. P47 was part of the submission made by Claim Adex Energy. Is the final figure you paid to Adex different from this figure? I would not know. If the figure, final figure agree with the 5,919,600 contained in P47 unless I see it. You also paid for PMS to Adex. Yes, they were paid. I'm putting it to you that the payment to Adex for PMS was wrong because there are release from Adex in favor of Atlas for almost the entire 712,000 metric tons of PMS stated in P47. This is not correct. Take a look at Exhibit 48 and P51. It is correct. It is not. This does or stock statement for Adex from 30th to the 30th to 30th September, 30th June to 30th September 2021. Yes, that's correct. The stock statement for June 30th, for 30th June 2021 would not reflect the release that were for Adex for the month of July. Yes, the difference between the stock report for 30th of June, P51, and the statement for 31st of July, P50, will be the total release for the month of July 2021. That, he said, that is not correct. The difference between the stock statement for 21st August 2021, Exhibit P49, and the stock statement dated 24th September 2021, plus Exhibit P48, should reflect the total release by Adex for the period of 21st August 2021 to 30th September 2021. That is not correct because there are new vessels arriving in the intervening period from one month to another. Okay, that each certificate covers the entire vessels delivered to the entire month. No, each of the certificate do not contain the entire delivery for that month. The vessels whose stocks were in hand for that period of month. Question. Okay, take a look at Exhibit P51 for the period of 1st June to 30th of June 2021. Can you tell the court what vessel made delivery jet 1st June to 30th June, which was not reflected in Exhibit P51? Answer, no, because if a vessel delivered on the month of June was released wholly before the end of the month, that vessel will not appear on 30th of June certificate. Answer, I'm putting it to you, that's the defense. I'm putting it to you that is 0 tomorrow, 1st June 2022 at 2 p.m. Not correct. Now, I don't agree to that because P51 have empty rows M with stock of jet fuel, which is not appearing on P50 of end of July 2021. Question. Take a look at Exhibit P50. Exhibit P50 is the closing stock for Adex, held by GAMPETROLEUM at 31st of July 2021. Yes, that's correct. The difference between this closing stock and the stock at the beginning of the month and the various vessels receipts as the cost of the month should be total release as the close of the month. Yes, I agree. you have question. You have Exhibit P48. It's closing stock for ADEX for the month of September. Yes, that's correct. You will agree with me that to know the closing stock held for ADEX as the month of October 2021, you need to have the record of all the delivery made as October 2021 and all the release made by ADEX for month of October 2021. Yes, that's correct. Do you have the closing stock statement for GAMPETROLEUM as for 30th October 2021? I do not have it. It is this batch of documents. Do you have it in all the batch of documents that have been tendered before the court? Give him all the documents tendered before the court. I did not see the stock statement for 31st of October 2021 in this document. Do you know why this has not been tendered? Wow. Wow. Now this is a very instrumental article to produce. Now what the defense did was went through the process and established what the stock statement should be for October. Total stock listings are on ADEX. Now which should be produced as evidence. It's not in the text, it's not been produced in evidence. Now it's asking why it's not produced in evidence. Let's see. I did not see the stock statement for 30th of October in this document. Do you know why it has not been tendered? I don't know why it has not been tendered. Take a look at, you see, that's a hole. That's a hole. Now he's moving. Now this is to address, look, they have not done things right. I hope the re-examination will happen and something can be addressed. I do not know why also take a look at exhibit P52 and P53. The signature on these two exhibits, do you recognize them? Yes. Whose signature is that? The one with the GAMPETROLEUM stamp are those of Mr. Lamin Toure, the immediate assistant of the second accused. Mr. Lamin Toure has a position at GAMPETROLEUM and he is the depot supervisor and not as the assistant to the second accused. Wow. The answer is I know him as the assistant of the second accused. Are you surprised that Mr. Toure gave evidence in this court and he never for once said he was the assistant to the second accused? No. Is it correct or is it not that second accused was out of office and out of the jurisdiction between January 2021 to October 2021? Yes, I am aware that he has been on leave for some period. For how long, I do not know. Question. In fact, he was not on leave of absence for several months without pay. In fact, he was on, leave of absence for several months without pay. Yes, I am aware of his leave of absence. Did your board authorize the depot supervisor to sign exhibit P52 and P53? No, that is an operational matter under the general manager. Mr. Osman Ba PW4 has told this court that because the second accused was always most of the time and the first accused come late, or is it not the office and work has to go on? He signed when they were not in office. I am not sure. Will it have made any difference if you were aware or not? Yes, I would have instructed the general manager to ensure he comes to work on time and leave on time and not to have any gap in the approval of documents procedure. I did instruct the general manager when I became aware that the second accused was being paid fuel coupons and was having his utility vehicle at his residence. It would have made a difference. I would have invited the first accused with Mr. Ba and go through the veracity and accuracy of those documents signed and ensure correct actions are taken. From when the issue of shortage arose up to the time this case came to the court is a long time. Yes. Why did you take these? Why did you not take these corrective administrative actions instead of these criminal procedures? The very night I knew of the shortage, the following morning I visited the depot. That's not the question to answer. The reason for going for criminal proceeding is the fact that accused person carried out actions outside of their respective mandate. Do you know the basis of these charges are the same documents signed by Usman Ba and Lamin Toure? I don't know. This is again prosecution mishap. That's why they cannot only bring this through to court. That was my point. That's not my point. They are digging a hole here and they are not proving their case. Let's see. Do you know the depot supervisor signed Exhibit P52, P53 in the ordinary course of his duty as depot supervisor at GAMPETROLEUM? Yes, that's correct. Exhibit P54, P55 were signed by second accused in the ordinary course of his duty as operations manager of GAMPETROLEUM. Yes, that's correct. You also confirmed that both P54 and P55 have the respective release from the trader attached. Yes, that's correct. As the 5th day of November 2021, the problem that arose as of shortage was already on. Yes, that's correct. So the police were already involved in an investigation and they already had the accused effectively in their custody. I did not know that the false accused were in custody. But you reported the matter. You should know. Exhibit P63 are all holding certificate of Trafalgar. Yes, that's correct. Now, let's establish this again. As the 5th day of November 2021, the problem that arose as shortage was already on. Yes, that is correct. So the police were already involved in an investigation and they already had the accused effectively under custody. Okay. Seems the case wasn't arrested. Even these people are in custody. Something was going on. Let's see what's going to happen. Exhibit P63 are all holding certificate for travel data. Yes, that's correct. All those holding certificate, Exhibit P63 to P67, are all dated the same day, 31st of October 2021. Yes, that's correct. They were all signed by someone different from the first defendant. Yes, that's correct. The signature on Exhibit P63 to P67 is that of the depot supervisor who signed in ordinary course of his duty as depot supervisor of GAMPETROLEUM. Yes, that's correct. I'm putting it to you that P63, P67 was signed and prepared much later than 31st October 2021 at the time the first and second accused were in police custody. In other words, it was backdated. I do not agree. Are you aware that 31st of October 2021 was on a Sunday? I don't know unless I verify. Would it be any difference if you know it was on a Sunday? No, I would not make any difference to it. Would not make any difference to me. The last working day for the month of October 2021 was a Friday, which was on the 29th of October. That one, unless I confirm, I can say yes. Sunday is not a working day of GAMPETROLEUM. The answer, that is not correct. GAMPETROLEUM handled vessels on any day of the week. Oh, and not. I'm not talking about handling vessels. I'm talking about office working day. That one I agree. I put it to you that this document P63 to P67 was prepared much later, sometime in November 2021, when the police investigation started. I am not aware. Do you know Abraham Barrow? Yes, I do. Do you know one Ibrahim Njai? Yes, I know him. This Abraham Barrow and Ibrahim Njai are the director of Star Oil. I want to know these two lads, especially the Barrow guy, whether he's related to President Barrow. It's important because Star Oil is a kind of a very dodgy situation here, and the way they acquire stock and in the business. We need to know. I do my due diligence. Do you know Abraham Barrow? Yes, I do. Do you know one Ibrahim Njai? Yes, yes, I know him. This yes, that's correct. They are also board members of GAMPETROLEUM, which you are chair. Yes, that's correct. The same Abraham Barrow double as the managing director of Petrogas. Yes, that's correct. It's the same Abraham Barrow that you heard this that you had the shortage from when he called you one evening. Yes, that's correct. It's the same Abraham Barrow and Ibrahim Njai who reported to you, and it's the same reason you summoned an extraordinary board meeting at which he read and explained against GAMPETROLEUM, which you said the first accused refuted. Yes, that's correct. Abraham Barrow complaint was about the negative balance of OMCs. Yes, that's correct. Are you aware that Star Oil is which Abraham Barrow and Ibrahim Njai are directors and they own Petrogas? Yes, that's correct. Will you be surprised that will you be surprised to know that Petrogas owned Star Oil had in the past taken huge volume of product at GAMPETROLEUM on negative stock balance? You see the way the cabal operates. Stock balance. Yes, I will be surprised if that's the case. You see the cabal operates. Yes, I will be surprised. In fact, Abraham Barrow is aware of the existing practice at GAMPETROLEUM of allowing the OMC to lift fuel on negative balance, and he has taken advantage of this practice for many years. Yes, I will be surprised. If you know Abraham Barrow had been taking uplift on negative balance and he made that complaint, will you doubt his motives? Yes, I would have doubted his motive. That's a point there. That's a point there. Now, the board chairman is admitting that their due diligence was lacking. If they have carried out the forensic audit, they would have found out the OMCs that were complicit. Now, in avoiding the OMC who are complicit, now they are compromising the case. This is my point. We want the monies returned to Gambia taxpayers. Gambia Ports Authority have a share. Social Security, the pensioners have a share. And this Petrogas and these things, I said it. They are complicit in this. And they are tied to Barrow and the First Lady. They are a Mauritanian company. Barrow ensured that they bought the shares. The shares was meant to be sold to Social Security. Barrow refused and uses influence. We get to the bottom of this. In fact, yes, I will be surprised if I knew Abraham Barrow had been taking uplift of negative balance and he made the complaint. Will you be dubious of it? Yes, I would have been doubted the motive. Amadou Keita told this court that the claim from Trafalgar and the holding certificate were sent to him by Abraham Barrow. Are you aware of that? You see the Abraham Barrow now? You see the cabal, how they play in their games? Now, why would he do it on behalf of Trafalgar? And he's not representing Trafalgar. Let's see. It is not surprising that I'm about to call you to complain about negative balance and come to the board to complain and complain. It is the same Abraham Barrow who forwarded the Trafalgar claim to the then acting general manager. I am not surprised. I am not surprised. Trafalgar has a representative or an agent at GAMPETROLEUM. Mr. Keto confirmed it. Yes, that's correct. In the storage agreement between Trafalgar and GAMPETROLEUM, the contract address are stated. Yes, that's correct. Trafalgar had been dealing with GAMPETROLEUM since 2012. Yes, that's correct. That was many years before Abraham Barrow and Ibrahim Njai became board members of GAMPETROLEUM. Yes, that's correct. Over the years, Trafalgar has been dealing with GAMPETROLEUM and communicating with GAMPETROLEUM. Yes, that's correct. They also have the official email address of GAMPETROLEUM. Yes. Are you not surprised that the claim of Trafalgar and the holding certificates are not sent directly to GAMPETROLEUM? No, I am not surprised. I'm now putting it to you that you at all material time were hand in glove with Abraham Barrow. I don't agree. I'm putting it to you that what have been normal was Trafalgar communicate with GAMPETROLEUM or through you, the chairman. Yes, that would have been the normal case. However, I have explained here yesterday that Many, I am not asking you about ADAX. You see, from here on, we have just undermined Mr. Tambedu. Mr. Tambedu have come out as untrustworthy and shaky witness, and this is going to affect the case. He as an experienced manager, he should have known better, and his relationship with Barrow and everything with the cabal is showing that there's something going on here, and this is going to undermine the case, and that's why the defense is putting this through. Let's move on. However, the board did not receive any claims from Trafalgar and did not have their contracts, as both the first and second accused were busy with their reconciliation. You confirm that Trafalgar has agents on the ground. Yes. Your story that the first and second accused were busy is a mere conception for something you know to be wrong. That's not correct. It was the board of directors that requested for any of the board members to provide contacts for international traders. That was how we came to know the claims for Trafalgar. That's not a straightforward thing. So it was the board that initiated the process by directing members to Trafalgar to send their claims. Now, how busy can the first and second accused be? Just to provide an address or an email. Why not send them an email, they respond? How busy can they be? Let's move on. No, the board directors' direction was not to contact the traders. Before you did that, as a board, did you receive any claims from traders? Yes, I did explain here that ADEX submitted their claims in the office of the Trade Minister. The extraordinary board meeting you had was before you received any claims from the traders. Yes, that's correct. So there was no claims received before the board meeting, which you said you directed the board members to contact traders to submit their claims. Now the chairman has been caught. Yes, this chairman has been caught out here. I said he was not reliable now. You see, they have been arranging this thing, a cabal, with the politicians. That's why you should not fight against each other. Hold them accountable. That's why they make sure you fight among each other for religion, for tribe, for anything else. so that they can keep on looting our coffers. Continue. And I'm putting it to you, that was a contact that Abraham Barrow made by contacting these traders that their stock are missing and they should come and make claims, and that's what triggered the shortage. Now, a board member took it to the interest to go and allow the traders to come and make it this thing. This is actually what happened. He said that's not correct. He said that's not correct. It triggered the shortage. Because a vessel was already confirmed to be on its way at the verge of arriving to discharge product, which was cancelled at the last minute. Okay, this point would be for the interest of the defense, for the cause of economic loss. They're trying to say that, look, it's a board member that went and stopped the imports. If the imports have come in, investigation can still go on, and we will not have a problem of shortage. But the shortage arises due to a board member interfering to operational matters and stopping this to happen. This is very interesting. And he said, yeah, he said that's not correct. It triggers the shortage because a vessel was already confirmed to be on its way at the verge of arrival to discharge products, which was cancelled at the last minute. He said that's not correct because the shortage preceded the call and the extraordinary meeting called by the board. PW2. Question PW2. Lamin Toure confirmed that as at the 31st of October 2021, when you had stock shortage, that they were expecting a vessel which was cancelled at the last minute. Are you suggesting that he is not? He said what he said was not true. That is true. The cancellation was true. There is another vessel, ITA, that has originally settled from the 17th to the 21st of October 2021 and later rescheduled for the 5th of October 2021. Yes, that is possible. The agent of Trafalgar in Dakar confirmed that they were receiving calls from the Gambia that their products were missing, and this reschedule was cancelled. Yes, that was possible. You will agree with me that even assuming that there was a problem with stock sometime in last October 2021, it was exaggerated by Ibrahim Barrow, calling these traders that their stock were missing, after which all the international traders cancelled. I don't agree. The shortage preceded to calls to make an extraordinary meeting. Are you aware that there was no storage with either ADEX or PSTV? I'm not aware of that, as it is an operational matter under the general manager. In the statement agreement with ADEX, you said you were involved in that. Yes, that is referring to storage agreement in settlement agreement with ADEX. Yes, I'm putting it to you that the storage agreement does not exist. That is not correct. He answered that is not correct. Abraham Barrow represented Trafalgar in the settlement agreement. That is not true. Trafalgar flew in a representative who attended a board meeting to submit their claims to the board, Mr. Hamza Wada. Will it surprise you that the claim of Trafalgar, which was presented to this court, is the claim Abdurrahman Barrow gave to Mr. Keita? I will not be surprised. Like I said, that the board gave the directives for traders to be contacted. Would you be surprised to know the claim the representative of Trafalgar submitted to board is not here? I will not be surprised. ADEX own Atlas petrol station, is that not so? I am not aware. Mr. Tambedu, if you're not aware of that, that would be a surprise. That would be a surprise that you don't know ADEX and this thing. And you were a board member for so many years, and you were the chairman for almost a year. over here? You don't know? No, untrustworthy. You see, he is refusing to establish his knowledge or role in this. Let's move on. I will not be surprised. No, I'm not aware. PW1 Amadou Keita told this court that settlement agreement with ADEX was signed at Atlas headquarters in Joshua. Is that not correct? Yes. You hear that? Do you hear that? That the agreement now was signed at Atlas. It was not signed at GNPC. It was not signed at the Pura. Was not signed at GAMPETROLEUM. Was not signed at the ministry. Come on. Now. Yes. He also told the court that he went there to sign the settlement agreement because the then Minister of Trade called him to go to Atlas Station to sign the agreement. I am not aware of the minister calling him to sign. Now, that's why he doesn't want to admit that, or he knows that Atlas is owned by ADEX. You see the conflict of interest in that country. It's a cabal. Let's move on, because I'm really tired now. It's been 20 hours. And it was the minister now saying that the minister asked him to go and sign. And that's the Minister of Trade now. And I told you the reason he became Minister of Trade is because of relationship with Mohammed Jah, cabal member, his relationship with the First Lady, and the job he does for them in corruption. I'm not aware of the minister calling him to sign. Did you sign the settlement agreement? Yes, I signed the settlement agreement with ADEX at Old Joshua, witnessed by Amadou Keita, after the board gave approval and received power of attorney from ADEX for Baboucarr Njie, managing director of Atlas, to sign on their behalf. The Minister of Trade signed as a witness. I said I signed and Mr. Keita as witness. I'm not aware of that, the minister signed. Was the Minister for Trade present at the time of the signed signature? No. So, why do you think Abraham Keita will say the minister called him for them to sign the agreement with ADEX? I don't know. Are you aware that Star Oil had always been interested in taking over position of second accused at GAMPETROLEUM? No, I am not aware. Take a look at this document. It is a letter from Star Oil dated the 4th of October 2020. It's from Star Oil. On what subject? Is there any heading? Yes, there is. Heading reads, addressed to who? The Board of Directors, GAMPETROLEUM. Have you seen this letter before? Yes, I have seen this letter before. Do you still maintain your position when I said Star Oil was interested in the second accused position? I was aware of that interest. However, during the board meeting in which this was tabled, Star Oil clarified that they are requesting for an expert to represent in the management and not a Star Oil staff. Unreliable. You see, and this is going to affect the case. Many. You applied to tender this letter for identification purposes. Court, any objection? Mbalo, I'm not objecting. Court, admitted and marked ID 2 letter from Star Oil to GAMPETROLEUM. Question, Star Oil owned by Abraham Barrow and Ibrahim Njie are directors, and from who you had received an expression of interest according to you. You told the court you would suspect their motive if you knew what I said. Do you see any motive from that letter? No, I did not see any connection. You will agree with me that Star Oil, as the owner of Petrogas, and Abraham Barrow as the managing director of Petrogas, are competition with other local OMC in the Gambia in the same market. Yes, that's correct. conflict of interest. These OMCs that had taken products on negative balance are also in competition with Abraham Barrow. Star Oil and Petrobras is this the same in the same market? That's correct. If the OMCs are stopped from taking any product on negative balance, as had been the practice for many years, will it not affect the operation of these OMCs? I am not sure of the I'm not sure that because OMCs in perpetuality negative stock should have other source of refinancing their operations and not rely on positive stock of other OMC or international traders. Do you know any OMC which is perpetuated negative stock over the years? No. The truth of the matter is there is no OMC operating in the Gambia that has not ever taken product on negative balance from GAMPETROLEUM. It's a cabal. I don't know. In fact, PW2 Lamin Toure has told the court that the practice of giving OMC fuel on negative balance at GAMPETROLEUM have been existing practice at GAMPETROLEUM long before first and second accused person assumed office. Do you know when this practice stopped? I don't know. In 2011 or 2012, when you told this court you were a board member, will it surprise you? It will surprise you to know that it was practiced by then. Yes, I will be surprised. You said that at some point the first accused told you that the reason for the shortage was because the price structure that was introduced by Minister of Finance. Yes, that's correct. You said that was the price structure that was introduced on 30th of September 2017. Yes. You said that the first accused told you the international traders refused to bring in fuel. That was his explanation for the shortage. That's correct. I'm putting it to you that first accused inform you that because of the new price structure introduced by Minister of Finance as September 2021, the OMC which were on negative balance were refusing to import fuel to replenish the negative balance they had taken, and refusing to do so because of the huge loss they will sustain because of the new price structure that was introduced. That makes sense. If you introduce a price structure that restricts profit, and we reported this, but what I am not saying it have, what indication does it have, or any proof to the negative stock? I am not establishing that need to be established by the prosecution, or and the defense should be able to defend that. If that's not true, that is not correct. He said the new price structure that was introduced in September 2021 reduced the price of gasoline and PMS, whilst the international market, the price of these products was rising. Yes, the unit price of both products went down as a result of a new price structure. Okay, why was the price reduced when in international market it was up, and in the Gambia we don't have oil? All these things have to be important. Yes, at the end of September 2021, the price in the Gambia was reduced, in international markets increased after the end of September 2021. You will agree with me that the OMCs operate in the Gambia have license to import petroleum products, and GAMPETROLEUM does not. Yes, that's true. In fact, traders, Trafalgar, PST, and others do not have import license from Gambia. Yes, that's correct. Traders don't have import license, but they import it. That's Gambia for you. Yes, that's correct. If the price in the Gambia is coming down and the price in international market is going up, the OMC refuses to import fuel at the high price into the country to sell at a reduced price, which will result to great losses to them, and that's why they stop importing until the price structure is reviewed upwards. That's what causes the shortage. I do not agree that what causes the shortage, as the shortage preceded the price change. Okay, I put it to you that it is absolutely false. The shortage came after the government reviewed the price structure and not before. Still, These things are not, they're just going around, nothing's been established here. But that's why the prosecution should have established where the shortage had happened. But they cannot just put the shortage on the evidence of shortage. They have to produce it to show where it went wrong. I do not agree with that cause the shortage. And I'm putting it to you that the shortage was precipitated by the arbitrary downward review of the precipitated fuel price of gas, oil, and gasoline. I do not agree with that. The call you said you had from Abraham Barrow, and who had the report of who had the report of shortage was towards end of October 2021. Yes, that's correct. The stock report which was tendered before this court indicated that stock out before the 1st of November, and that was the scarcity was reported. Yes, the extraordinary board meeting was the 31st of October 2021. Yes, you will agree with me that it's not make economic sense for OMG, who have the import license, to import at an increased price and sell it to less than their imported cost. Yes, at the material time, many of the OMCs were threatening to go on strike unless the price structure was reduced. I'm not aware of that. Mr. Tembedu, you told the court today that at some point that first and second, the first accused that he had supplied products to stores, local OMCs on negative stock. Yes, that's correct. Is it the first accused that told you he was confessing, or are you the one characterizing it as such? No, he did not. I characterize it as such. Then the guy did not confess. Okay, the first accused only told you that what has been the standard operational practice at GAMPETROLEUM, which has been given on going on for months, going on for many years, and you took it as a confession. He said that's not correct. The first and second accused have consistently repeated over and over to you, the board, police, and anyone who care to listen, that the practice of allowing OMC to take fuel on a negative balance have been ongoing for years before they came to office at GAMPETROLEUM. That's not correct. Lamin Toure, PW2, told the court that the practice has been going on for many years. Will you also term that as confession? No. I put it to you that you will not term that as confession because you do not have any interest in the position of PW2. No. I put it to you that you only have negative aspirations about the first accused because you were working hand and glove with others. No. In September 2021, you and all the members of board decided to travel to Senegal for familiarization yourself with the process of procedures of fuel depot. Yes, that is correct. Okay. How long were you in Senegal to learn about the technical operations of the depot? 3 days. In all time, you were a member of board. Have you and the board ever familiarized yourself with operation of GAMPETROLEUM in the Gambia? Yes. Where was this? It was few weeks after I took as chairman of board. Who was operational manager? It was Mr. Gassama, but he was on leave of absence. Who went to the tour with you? The first accused with most of his senior management team. I put it to you that neither you nor any member of the board ever participated in such a visit as the one you did in Senegal. That's not correct. Many, that would be convenient place to stop. The case adjourned to the 1st of June 2021. Thank you very much, guys. That's a convenient time to stop. As you can see, we put the spotlight on there and put interest for Gambians to have interest in this case. Now we are following the deliberations, as we said. This is how we see it, and now we are seeing how the other witnesses are going to be dealt with, and how the prosecution, how the defense, are they going to come for no submission? Because there's, as for now, still nothing has been established. Then after that, if not, are they going to bring in witnesses and so on? Thank you very much, guys. Have a good day. Thank you.